The MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Fantasy. They bring you offer for new customers. Play just $5. Give $5 bonus funds. Use promo code MLB SGPN. And welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. It is currently Friday afternoon, September 26th, around 5 p.m. Eastern. Here to break down the games for Saturday. I'm your host, Scott Rochelle, once again joined by Lonte Smith. Together, we're going to break down the second to last day of the regular season. Lonte, how's it going with you? The Yankees came through with a sweep. Now we hopefully can see them do it again with Toronto losing a game. We'll see, but how's it going with you? What's up?
Man, it's going good. Good Friday. That grand slam by Varsho, I think last night hurt. It was 0-0, I think, late in that game. Yankees actually trailed. I guess it should be surprising because they've trailed in both games thus far. So
and Michael A. Taylor.
Yeah. So, we're still right there, though. Still right there. Toronto's got a tough series coming up that we'll talk about. But, doing good. Hopefully we can, get through the show and get ready for some playoff baseball, which is probably the most, I would say, top two playoff. I think top two playoffs of all the playoffs in the professional sports.
I was going to say professional's the key word because you're throwing in college
March
football.
Madness.
You throw in a couple other stuff there. Yeah. So I think I'd agree with you there, but anyway, it should be fun. I do want to point out, by the way, that there will be a bonus episode tomorrow. I might be doing it solo. We'll see what time. Potentially you can join me, Lonte. But we decided to do another episode for Game 162 because what's the point of covering every game just to not break down the final day of the regular season? Feels like a waste. So instead, we are going to be doing a bonus episode on Saturday for the Sunday games. So probably will not be usual time. Probably be later. The point is there will be an episode tomorrow for the season finale. So anyway, before we get into any of the games for Saturday, a reminder that you can check out all of the picks and podcasts for SGPN in one easy location. Check out the SGPN app in the App Store, free to download for all the access to our picks and podcasts. So moving on to the actual card for Saturday, starting off with the Orioles taking on the Yankees. You have Sagano taking on Schlittler. For this one, Yankees massive favorites, minus 225. The Orioles are around plus 185. For the over-under, I see 9 in this game. Schlittler has been a pretty solid young pitcher so far this season, 3-3, 3.27 ERA. He has been alternating good and bad starts, though. 1 earned against Baltimore last start, 4 earned the start prior, 1 earned run against Detroit, 4 earned runs before that, 1 earned run before that. So he's been alternating good and bad starts, technically due for a bad start. But as for Sagano, he's been basically the same pitcher home and road, and he's not been particularly good lately. Yankees did light him up for 4 earned in 3 innings last start. Orioles have lost 5 in a row that he's appeared in, and he has allowed at least 3 earned runs in 4 of his last 5 starts. So if you want the run line on the Yankees, by the way, Yankees minus 1.5 is around plus 102. Baltimore plus 1.5 is minus 122. Lonte, I'll ask you, because we know the Yankees are in must-win territory, but at the same point, we know that you still have to play the games. And in baseball especially, you can see some teams that have nothing to play for enjoy playing spoiler against their division rival. What do you like in this game?
Yeah, I'm going to take the minus 1.5. I like the way the offense has been playing. Schlittler's been, inconsistent lately, but he's got some success against him. 1 earned and 5 1/3 versus Baltimore in his last start. Sagano struggled. 2 home runs versus the Yankees the last start. The way they're hitting the ball right now, I don't think you can go against that offense. 9 home runs in a 5-game span for Sagano, who's allowed 4+ in 3 of his last 5. I trust the Yankees offense more than I trust anything on Baltimore. It won't be easy. But I think the Yankees pull away, similar to what we saw in the White Sox series. Hopefully they don't get behind 3-1 or 2-1 like they have been in that series. But I do like the Yankees offense to kind of be the superior unit of the 4. So I'm going to Yankees minus 1.5 at the plus money.
Yeah, I think that I agree with you, but I do expect some of these games, maybe not this one, but some of them to be dicey, just based on Baltimore being decent lately. And the fact is, I think since they fired their manager, Hyde, they've been a 500 team. So they're actually not terrible. But the Yankees, I think, will get the job done here. I like the plus money. Schlittler has been a solid pitcher so far this season, so I'll go with him in this one. Moving on to the next game, Cardinals taking on the Cubs. So the Cardinals get buried 12-1 in the only day game today. You see McGreevy taking on Tyone. For this one, Cardinals are, of course, out of it. You're looking at the Cubs, who are 20 games over 500. I believe Seattle can no longer catch them. So they officially have nothing to play for at this point. They wrapped up the 1 spot for the wild card. So for the actual pricing in this game, you're looking at the Cubs, of course, being favored -170. Cardinals are +145. For the over-under, I see 9 in this game. So it's a bit tricky when we get to the games that don't actually matter, because the Cubs were, in theory, playing for seeding this entire time, and now they're not. So, or at least I believe they're not. Point is, I do think you're looking at a spot where the Cubs, I have to actually check if they have the breaker over the Padres, because the Padres haven't played today. But I want to say they have the tiebreaker. But either way, I'll ask you, do you want McGreevy in this game, or do you want to back Taillon at a pretty decent price?
Yeah, I would err on the side of precaution for a side. I mean, 170 is steep with not a ton of, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? With not a ton of motivation. But McGreevy's been inconsistent. I mean, if you look at his last 4 starts, he's had 2 starts where he's allowed 1 combined, and the other 2 he's allowed 11 combined. So, I mean, kind of don't know what you're going to get with him. Taillon's been pretty good since coming back from, I think he was injured. I can't remember what it was, but I'm looking at the team total over for the Cubs. I think they can get to McGreevy early on. Don't really trust the bullpen. Even if some of those guys, the higher-end guys for Chicago, maybe just go through the lineup one. I really don't know how they're going to play it, to be honest. Like, I don't really know how they're going to play it. But maybe they give those guys breaks. I'm not sure. But I think that the backups, if that's the case, can get over this number, the team total. It should be around, I don't know what the wind is doing. So maybe like 4.5, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll go over the 4.5 if it is that for the team total.
I did look it up, by the way. I believe they have clinched the top spot. So the game actually does not matter for Chicago. I thought it didn't, but I had to confirm. For this game, I thought about maybe just going with the over. I think 9's reasonable with McGreevy and with Taillon. I can see some runs being scored, but we know the Cardinals stink on the road. So not really interested, but I'd consider the over, if anything. McGreevy got shelled by the Giants last start. I think it's a decent opportunity for Taillon to struggle too. Don't mind the over in this game, but it does not matter, so not going to go too crazy with it. Moving on to the next game, the Rays taking on the Blue Jays. This one does matter. You have Boyle taking on Yasevich. For this one, you have the Blue Jays being favored, -160. You have Boyle and the Rays, at +135. For the over-under, I see 8.5. So Boyle this season has been pretty up and down, 4.4 ERA, terrible on the road, 8.15 ERA. But the last 2 starts, he has gone 10 1/3, giving up 1 total run. And the start he gave up no runs in against Toronto, 6 innings. So he was very good at home against Toronto about a week ago. Now the Blue Jays can get some revenge. As for Yasevich, he's been fine. They called him up late in the year. 2 appearances, both on the road. So his first home start with the team. Very good early against Tampa. And then last start against Kansas City, 4 innings, 4 earned. So bit trickier for this one, but I still think the line's too big on Toronto. I get they won a game against Boston, but do I like how they've played? Not really. I don't really like how they're performing. So Toronto might win this game, but I just don't know if I want to jump in at -160. So thought about maybe going with the over.
Yeah, I like
Boyle
that.
to struggle on the road, pick Yasevich to struggle in a big spot. I prefer the over in this game, but I guess for a side, I'll go Tampa. But I think 8.5. I see an 8 actually on Fanatics at -120. I'll take that. I think 8's too short.
Yeah, I like the total as well. Yasevich, he's been like just 2 mixed results, so it's not. He doesn't have a ton of data to go on. Shout out to Kobe, man. He went to ECU as well with Kobe's alma mater. So this is, like you said, his first home start. I'm pretty sure he'd be juiced for that. I don't really trust Boyle. He's been good since returning. 1 combined his last 2 after missing about a month, but both of those were at home, like you talked about. He's making a start on the road. Toronto's obviously in a must-win scenario, so I think they'll bring it. I like both offenses to score here, so I'm going to go over that 8 as well. I think it's good up until now. I would probably go over 8.5 as well.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's a game that I just think might feature some runs. You're looking at Tampa, who offensively can be pretty ugly at times. But they also have some power, so maybe they get a couple home runs for this one. But either way, I do think that the total feels a bit short. Moving on to the next game, you have the White Sox taking on the Nationals. Damn, this series is probably the least important series around. You have the Nationals, who have 94 losses. The White Sox have 101. On the bright side, neither team's the Rockies. You have Burke taking on Irvin for this one. For this one, though, you have the Nationals being favored -120. Burke and the White Sox are +100. For the over-under, I see 8.5. So for this one, we know Irvin's been god-awful all season. However, he was good against the Mets, which makes it pretty funny, last outing. However, Burke has not been good on the road, 0-6, a 4.78 ERA. He's been better lately, not much distance, though. Last 2 starts, 8 innings, 3 earned runs. But I think I like the over in this game. I don't like either pitcher. So with that being said, totals at 8.5. I think each team can get to 4. I know it's asking a lot for the White Sox, but I know the Nationals have some power at the bats, and I do think that Burke could struggle. And Irvin, we know, has been really bad. I know the Mets couldn't hit him, but the Mets, we know, can do Mets things, and there's no-show random game here or there. I like the over. I'll go with the over 8.5 for this one.
I love the over, man. I think both pitchers pitched to contact. The White Sox, I mean, they come out like really firing. So maybe if you want to play the White Sox first 5, like they really play well early on and then kind of fade into the abyss later on. No real link for Burt. He's been under 5 innings in 5 straight. A lot of contact allowed, like I said, by him and Irvin. Both pitchers have home run issues. Burt, 5 home runs in his last 4. Irvin, multi-home runs allowed in 5 of his last 9. So I think this bodes well for an over. Obviously, 2 teams with nothing to play for. Look for a glorified scrimmage game here. So I like the over as well. I think it's too short.
Yeah. Moving on to the next game, you have the Rockies taking on the Giants. Again, another series that doesn't matter. Rockies have 116 losses. They will not get to 120, so there's that. You have Freeland taking on Verlander. This might be Verlander's last start on the Giants. I know we said that last week, but yeah, we thought maybe they might pull the plug, but they did not. Verlander's pitching again. He's probably a free agent at the end of the year. 3-11 with a 3.88 ERA. So actually not terrible this season. His whip's high, but a 3-11 record. He gets no run support at all. He was in great form, giving up 1 earned or less in 4 straight. Then the Cardinals killed him, and he gave up 6 runs in less than 5 innings. For the Rockies, though, in this one, we know the Rockies, doesn't really matter who's pitching, but you have Freeland going, who's going for the Major League lead in losses. I believe he's tied with Mitchell Parker with 16. So we'll see what happens, but for the pricing, now you're looking at the Giants, who are favored minus 240. Rockies are plus 195. Over-under is 8. And for the run line, you have the Rockies plus 1.5, minus 110. Giants minus 1.5 is minus 110 as well. Yeah, give me the Rockies plus 1.5. If I'm looking at 2 teams that I think stink, and the Giants, I understand, are like around 500, compared to where they were a couple months ago, this team stinks. And the Rockies are bad too. I'm not saying Freeland's good. I know he's not. Verlander turned it around, and then he got shelled the last start at home. But do I want to lay 240 with this Giants team? Hell no. And I don't want the run line either, because the Giants sometimes can't hit. Give me the Rockies plus 1.5, and maybe the money line if you want to go for the who cares more game. Pick the Rockies to show up with some pride, I guess. Yeah. But I can't lay 1.5 or minus 110 with a team that's fallen off a cliff. Give me the Rockies plus 1.5.
Yeah, completely agree with you. I like the Rockies. And Freeland, I mean, although he is horrible, he's been pretty good lately. 1 or less in 3 of his last 4. He's been serviceable on the road. So I think 240 is a bit large for a team like San Francisco. I know Verlander had been good prior to that. He had 3 combined runs in his previous 5 starts before he got shelled in his most recent. But, I mean, I would expect the Colorado to still be playing a little bit more, I would say, up to their level than what San Francisco. San Francisco is probably just going to be out there going through the motions. Who knows if they're going to have their full complement of players offensively? So I'll take a shot with Colorado as well. I will put like full unit on that plus 1.5.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can argue the Giants, even if they win the game, they can still win by 1.
Yeah.
It's still reasonable for this team, especially with the bullpen, which has been a mess for them lately. Moving on to a very important series for both teams. Then again, it might not be important for one of these teams because the Red Sox, if they do win tonight, I believe clinch a playoff spot. So as of right now, they have not. I believe their magic number is 1. So they can clinch it tonight. If they don't, then this game matters for both teams. Congratulations to the Tigers. You won a baseball game against the Guardians. I'm proud of you. You looked ugly for a while. Then you managed to jump Messick in the first inning, and you held on. Shout out to Yankee legend Jahmai Jones for a leadoff home run in the game yesterday. But for this one, you're looking at a matchup between undecided and early. So for the pricing, of course, the biggest game on the card, we have no lines for. Of course. Yeah, I don't know who's going to be favored in this game. I'm assuming that it will be Boston because I don't know what Detroit's doing, but probably not a lot. I'd imagine it's around minus 120, minus 130. Early's still a young guy. He's been decent so far in his young career, but it's a similar spot to what I said before about throwing in a young guy like Yusevich in a big spot and this one's on the road. This one's at home, so you can argue that it's not going to matter if Boston does win tonight, but I don't think it's a slam dunk play for Boston. I think most people feel that way. But I don't know who's pitching for Detroit, which is the really annoying wrinkle in this whole puzzle here. So I might go Detroit plus money. The argument is if Boston does win and they do end up celebrating, you're in a decent spot and you might be able to get some plus money. But I think the books are intentionally delaying the posting of this line until after the Red Sox game tonight, because they know the game tomorrow might not matter. So that's kind of the unfortunate part here. You know what? I'll take a spin here. Give me Detroit. Let's get weird. Give me plus money.
Yeah, if it's anything 120 or below, yeah, I like Boston. I mean, I
think whoever's the dog in this game, to be clear.
Yeah, I don't trust Detroit at all, regardless of the number. As long as they're minus 120 or above, I mean, or below. I like Boston. I mean, early is you talked about the youth, and that's perfectly that's perfectly explained by you. But I mean, he is at home, so Boston's offense I trust. I mean, just a lot of indicators showing that Detroit is just not a team that you want to back going forward. So I'm just going to take the easy way out and go with Boston at home.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it comes down to price because Boston might be hungover for this game. So we'll see what happens with the actual game tonight. But I'll go with whoever's plus money, and I'm assuming Detroit will be plus money. So that's kind of where I'm at for this one. But it's a very tough game. Moving on to the next game, the Mets taking on the Marlins. Nice win for the Mets last time out. They ended up looking sharp. And they cooked. They won 8-5. They got dicey there for the bullpen a bit. I thought they ended up leaving in their star youngster a bit too long, and Suzuki hit that bomb. But they settled it. They settled in, and they won the game 8-5. So nice job by them. As for this game, though, we don't know. Who's pitching for the Mets, and we have Perez going for the Marlins. Marlins had about 8,000 possibilities that needed to go right for them to make the playoffs. That dream has officially died. So Miami, once again, has missed the playoffs. Not a surprise. They made it, I think, 4 times in their lifetime, and they have 2 rings. So one of the weirdest organizations of all time.
That is weird. That is weird.
But either way, point is the Mets, we don't know who's pitching. We don't have lines, and Perez, I know, is good, but how long is he going? I don't know. He's very good at home, though, 2.63 ERA. He has allowed 3 hits and no runs in his last 2 starts, but total of 9 innings. So he's going no length at all. But the Mets, in a must-win game, might be favored in this spot. Give me the Marlins first 5.
I like Marlins full game. I think the Marlins are going to be feisty in this series. It's a chance that they sweep the Mets. They're going to play. I think they want to play spoiler. I don't trust the Mets pitching, especially not on the road. Miami's feisty, regardless of where they're playing at. Against somebody like the Mets that they can keep out of the playoffs, I think they'll show up. I think this is one of those games where the must win doesn't equal must bet. So I would not be on the Mets. I'll take the Marlins regardless of how long Perez is pitching because I trust him to go okay. I think they'll stretch him out a little bit, maybe 5 1/3. So I'm going to go with Miami as long as they're a nice size price.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's a spot where I think the Mets will be favored blindly, and I just think it's going to be a wrong price because I don't know who the Mets are going to use, but
I think it's Manaya, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm definitely not sold on that option.
Yeah, I think it's
I don't mind Marlins early. Marlins might win the whole game, but I think taking Perez only is appealing for this one as well. Before we get into the remainder of the card, or whatever lines we have for the card, sorry. But either way, point is we're brought to you by our sponsor, MyBookie.ag. So use them to bet on football. They have a prop builder, second to none. Their motto is betting on anything, anywhere, anytime. You can use crypto for deposits and payouts when you sign up for an account. Use code SGPN for 100%. Bet back bonus $500 for new customers. MyBookie.ag promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Novig, which is America's #1 sports market. Since the Novig is an exchange, you're getting some great prices. Available in 35 plus states, and you can also download the Novig app. Get $50 when you spend just $5 if you use the promo code SGPN. Get on the actual Novig, promo code SGPN. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finished going through the first couple games for the card for Saturday. Time to move on into the next game. Moving on to the Twins taking on the Phillies. For this one, you have Abel taking on Suarez. Now, the Phillies, in theory, can still catch Milwaukee, I think. Are they going to? Probably not. Probably not, but who knows? You know, weirder things have happened, but they take on the Twins, who definitely don't care. You have Abel going, who's a former Philly. They got rid of him because he stinks. 2-4 record, 7.36 ERA. He came back, he was traded, Then he ended up pitching for the Twins. 3 innings, 6 runs, 1 inning, 6 runs, 4 innings, 2 runs. So they've lost every outing that he's made by 4+ runs. Now, he hasn't started any of those games, so slightly different here. Suarez, though, he's also been kind of vulnerable lately. So I don't really trust either pitcher in this game. I trust Suarez more than Abel, obviously. The last 2 starts, 10 innings, 9 earned. So I don't mind the over in this game. I see 8.5. I think the -205 price makes sense for Philly. Minnesota, by the way, is +170. For the run line, Philly -1.5 is a +105, and Minnesota +1.5 is a -125. Pretty simple for me. It's Philly -1.5 at plus money, but I also like the over. I think 8.5 seems a bit short.
Yep, like Philly and over. I think you laid it out perfectly. To sum up what you said about Abel, I mean, what is it, 18 earned and 9 1/3 in his last 9 1/3? That's brutal. And Suarez, you talked about it. He's had a weird season. So he had been like dominant for like 2 months, and then he was bad for like a month, and then now he's been okay. But it's weird. But he's got a high hit rate regardless. So I think that bodes well for an over. So I'm gonna go over here. I would probably play a little bit more on the Phillies team total over, maybe a first 5 over as well. Whereas we see Suarez kind of shove, and they can't get the Twins can't get anything going offensively. So I think that's what I'll probably settle on is a team total over for the Phillies. I just kind of trust them a little bit more, especially against Abel.
See, I'm kind of going with the opposite logic. I like the team total because I don't trust Suarez, but I don't trust Abel more. So I'd rather just fade Abel and ignore Suarez entirely. So I actually like that play for different reasons. Fair. But Suarez could shove. We'll see. Shout out to Bueller, by the way, who got the 10 wins somehow, despite having a really weird season. But he's been great since joining Philly. So nice job by him. Moving on to the Pirates taking on the Braves. For this one, you have Chandler against Strider. So for this one, you're looking at the lines here, and we do have lines. Atlanta's favored at home. You're looking at the Braves being about -165. For Pittsburgh, I see +140. For the over-under in this one, I see it being set at 8.5. Now, Strider has been quite underwhelming all season. A 4.45 ERA, 7-13 record, but he has been quite good lately. Last 3 starts, he's gone 18 innings, giving up 3 earned. Chandler, young pitcher, and he can throw very, very fast. Now, this season, he has been up and down, but he's been very good lately. Last 2 starts, 11 innings, 1 earned. His ERA on the road, 0.9. So I like the under in this game. I think that this feels pretty high at 8.5. I think Strider's turned it around to some degree. Chandler's an intriguing young player. He's not Paul Skeens, but nobody is, so he's still a pretty solid forgotten about. I like the under at 8.5.
Yeah, I like the under as well. I also like the Braves. I mean, the Braves have been playing extremely well to end the season. Chandler, I think this may be one of the better offenses he's faced in his short stints. Strider, back-to-back wins, 2.10 ERA in his last 5. He still has some control issues. But with Pittsburgh's offensive woes, especially on the road, I completely agree with that under. But I think this is a spot where Atlanta maybe, wins 5-1, 4-2 type of game.
Sounds like a classic Pirates road score.
Yep.
So I like that too. That goes with the under.
Yep.
Moving on to the next game, you have the Rangers taking on the Guardians. Damn, the Rangers fell off a damn cliff. They might finish below 500. Fun fact. They have been just really, really bad. They've lost 9 of their last 10. And there was a chance they might have made the wild card. And then as soon as they got back into the race, they died. And now Bochy might retire. Who knows what's going to happen? This team might blow the whole thing up. So, yeah, we have gone really, really into the deep end, into the abyss for the Rangers. For the Guardians, the opposite. This team somehow wins games. You look at the roster on paper, they should win 75. And here we are, and they might win the division. So that's where we're at right now. Did drop the final game to Detroit, but on the bright side, still the tiebreaker, and they are still tied with the breaker. So if they win all 3 games against the Rangers, then it doesn't matter what Detroit does because they win the division. Now, for this game, you are looking at the pitching matchup. We have no idea for either side. So because of that, we have nobody or no lines listed. I see one place listing Kelly versus Allen, but I actually don't know if it's true or not.
Yeah,
so
same.
We have no lines, but why would I ever back Texas? They could have Nolan Ryan pitching. I wouldn't back Texas. give me the Guardians, whatever the price is.
Yeah, I agree with you there. No need to dwell on it anymore.
You think Bochy retires?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say
a day ago it says that
I would say not really.
With the Rangers is unclear, but according to recent sources, says Bochy reportedly, quote, wants to come back.
Yeah, I think he'll be back. I mean, they got a shot next year to be really good. I mean, if they had some issues early on with their offense, and then had some issues
with the pitching and the offense.
Yeah, it's kind of like
they can never get it right.
Yeah, but I mean, they had injuries, so I mean, I think that they'll probably bolster one of the best pitching staffs in the league next year. So I think he'll be back. I mean, it's not like he's coaching the Rockies or anything. I mean, he'll be fine.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, you're looking at a good spot for the Guardians to take care of a doormat, and the Rangers have been a doormat for the last week and a half. So they got nothing to play for at this point. I like the Guardians. They're probably going to be laying a decent price, but it is what it is. So there you go. Moving on to the next game. You have the Reds taking on the Brewers. Abbott's pitching against we don't know. Milwaukee still technically is not wrapped up the 1 seed. It would take a lot for the Phillies to catch them, but it's still doable in theory. For the Reds, at least they got a game. Shout out to Marte. Damn, that was an ugly series against Pittsburgh. But you know what? You got a game you needed to. Your offense can hit, but at least your team can pitch because Lodolo was really, really good yesterday. For the pitcher, once again, you have Abbott going here. We have no lines because we know he's pitching for Milwaukee. Milwaukee's been kind of just taking a nap for the last week or so. They've lost 3 of their last 4. Then again, San Diego was playing for something, and San Diego did beat them the first 2. Should have won the first game, ended up losing in extras. They were 1 out away, and then they ended up losing. The next game did win the finale, though, 3-1. So I guess I'm going to ask you straight up, because when Milwaukee at home can clinch the 1 seed, do you trust Cincinnati to pull this off? Because I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Just inconsistency. They should have, I don't know. If you go out there, I mean, throughout the season, I think you can pick it on any type of series during a month stretch where, I mean, it had been times where they're supposed to win certain games and they've lost leads. They've blew games. They've came back and
the Pirates.
Tease the fans and just
at home. You can't lose 2 out of 3. I know one was Skeens, but that game was tied anyway in extras.
Right.
You can't lose 2 out of 3 to Pittsburgh when you're tied for the final wild card spot.
Yeah, so I don't have faith in them, but especially against Milwaukee at home. I mean, regardless of Milwaukee, I mean they're a wagon at home. So yeah. Abbott's good, so I think he'll put up a good fight. But I mean, depending on who Milwaukee throws, I don't really trust Cincinnati at all. So I would say no.
Yeah, for the records, by the way, Cincinnati is 36-42 on the road. Milwaukee's 51-27 at home. Yeah. So, very, very good home team. There you go. Yep. I'm on Milwaukee too.
Yep.
Moving on to the next game, Diamondbacks taking on the Padres. Speaking of teams that no-showed series, Arizona, who no-showed the extra innings against the Dodgers and lost 8-0. So that was a pretty ugly end to that series. For this one, you have Rodriguez against King. You're looking at the pricing here. You have the Diamondbacks, who are dogs on the road. King and the Padres are minus 140, minus 150, give or take. Arizona is plus 125. Over-under is set at 7.5. So I mentioned this before. I believe with the win earlier today on Friday, the Cubs did clinch the number 1 wildcard spot, which means San Diego's got nothing to play for. Now, King's been injured all year, and when he's pitched, he has not been good lately. So you could argue it's still a good audition start for King to see if he can stay healthy and to see if he's actually going to be ready to gear up for a postseason run. Now, I'll point out he was great last start. 5 innings, no runs against the White Sox, did give up 4 hits and walked 4 guys. So a ton of guys got on base, but he was able to dodge trouble. So the point is he was fine, but under the hood, not great. Erod, I know I've been roasting all season because we made a lot of money, but you know what? 9-8, 4.91 ERA. So he's actually been a bit better lately. He has allowed less than 2 earned runs in 4 of his last 5 starts. So Erod's kind of turned the corner. I'll take Erod in this game. I don't trust King at all, and the Padres have nothing to play for. So give me Arizona, a desperate team on the road to plus money.
Yeah, completely agree with you. I like Erod. San Diego, I don't really trust at all. And you already talked about it. They already got things wrapped up. I think it's an easy play for me with Erod. Maybe a first 5 as well. I just don't trust San Diego. I mean, they're just one of those teams that I just can't figure out. Just too inconsistent. So I'm going to take Arizona and Erod. I'll put a full unit on the first 5, maybe a quarter unit on the full game.
Yeah. I don't mind that too, but I think Arizona plus money against a team that might not matter, that might not care, is worth something.
100%.
Yeah, moving on to the next game, you have the Astros taking on the Angels. We know the Astros did win the last game against the A's, but either way, they're still trying to catch the Tigers, or the Guardians technically, for the final wildcard spot. You have undecided against Dana. So for this one, we have no lines because we don't know who's pitching for Houston. What I do know, though, is that Dana stinks. Give me the Astros minus 1.5.
Over. Gonna keep betting the Halos over. Houston got things going offensively. Was it last night? I think they scored. I forgot how many runs they ended up with, but I think they had 6 or 7 pretty early. But yeah, I think we see a ton of runs. Dana, I'm not a fan of at all. Houston should be able, if they can't get to him, my God.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. So I'll go with the Astros in this one. Moving on to the second to last game, Dodgers taking on the Mariners. Mariners clinched the division already, still fighting for seeding. Same record as the Dodgers. Both of them are 90 and 69. Dodgers clinched the division. They can't catch Philly. They can't catch Milwaukee. They are taking a nap until the postseason starts. So for this one, you have undecided against Glasnow. We have no lines. Glasnow with his injury history, I don't expect a long outing for him.
Yeah, right.
So I think he might get pulled pretty quickly in this game just to keep him healthy. So we'll see what happens, but I'll go Seattle at home. The Dodgers are stuck in the 3 seed. It doesn't matter. Seattle, though, there's a lot of opportunity for the 1 seed. So, or even worst case scenario, the 2 seed for a bye in the first round. Give me Seattle at home.
Yeah, it'll be Seattle or nothing for me. The Dodgers, you can probably make a case they've been asleep for like 2 months because they've been playing like 500 baseball for the last 2 months. Completely agree. Seattle at home especially have been rolling. You saw, it was really
fun. Again, like 16 of 17 or something?
Yeah, something like that. They've just offensively especially just been getting them like going. So Glasnow probably won't go that long. He's got walk issues as well. So I don't believe he'll go maybe 2-3 innings, if that. But yeah, I'll take Seattle, depending on the price. That game is a complete stay away.
It is the Dodgers, though, so I'm assuming they're going to be either resting some guys or they'll be getting a Dodger tax on the price. So I like Seattle
for
in
sure.
that one. Moving on to the next game, Royals taking on the A's. Final game of the card between 2 teams that don't actually matter. You have Waka against Morales. For the pricing, we have the A's minus 120. We have the Royals at around plus 100. Over-under is 10 for this game. Morales has been good this season, 3.07 ERA. Last couple outings, though, not amazing. So point is, he has been getting a bit, I'd say, hit harder than earlier in the year. For Waka, he's been steady. That's the word I'll use, 4 ERA. So there you go. Last 2 starts got awful. 7 2/3, 13 earned runs. So he was better at home than road all season. He's not been good lately. Morales, I don't mind, but both pitchers have not been great recently. I understand why it's 10, but I think I'll go with the A's at home. I just think they have a few more power bats, and we know the Royals on the road have not been pretty to watch offensively. So I'll go with the A's at home. I think at the end of the day, it might come down to a 7-5 shootout, but I like the over, and I'll go with the A's.
Yeah, I like the A's as well. I think the price is a little bit cheap. I don't trust the Royals anywhere, whether that's home or away. They've just been underwhelming this year. I know there was a lot of promise coming in on certain people about the Royals. I didn't get it. I didn't think they added enough. And they fell short once again. So the A's, young, upcoming team, I think they're still going to try to finish strong. So I'm going to take the short price with the A's.
Yeah. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for the entire card for Saturday. Time to move on into the lock and dog picks. Before we get into the lock and dog, reminder, they're brought to you by our sponsor, Arctic Fantasy. A great place to play fantasy pick'em. To win 500 times your entry. The higher or lower on your favorite player stats, and it's available a ton of sports, so check it out. They also have esports, so you can also go for that too. But a reminder, when you do end up making your new account, use the new offer that Arctic has for new customers. Play just $5, $50 bonus funds. Use promo code MLB SGPN. We're also brought to by Rhythm. Offers a great start in college football and the NFL. They have a leaderboard system with weekly cash prizes for tracking your bets in the app. Track 5 bets at the same type from any model that you build and you can't win 1K. Use the promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for a quarter off your first month. Download the Rhythm app and use the promo code SGPN25. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finished going through all the games for Saturday. Time to move on into the lock and dog picks. Lonte, I'll let you go first as always. What's going to be your lock and dog for the show?
Yeah, so we'll make this pretty quick. I love the over, and I think it's 8.5. You can find whichever one. I think both are good in Washington and the White Sox. I love that over. Both pitchers pitch to contact. They both allow a ton of home runs. They have nothing to play for, so this should be a really fun, entertaining game. So I'm going over. Let's just call it 8.5, just because whatever. I think both teams can score here, so we'll go over that number. For the dog, I'm going to go with a side. I'm going to lay the 1.5 with the Atlanta Braves. Typical spot that I think they win 5-2, 4-1 type of game. Strider's been really good at home. Atlanta's been winning. They had a really good month. Too bad they couldn't put it together maybe 2 months ago. But I like them. Chandler on the road, I think he'll struggle against the Atlanta offense. So Atlanta -1.5. That's at plus. What's the best price you see for that? It's kind of all over the place.
-1.5?
Yeah, I think it's kind of all over the place.
I see plus 145.
Yeah, that's fine. I saw plus 130. Yeah, plus 145 is fine. I'll take that.
All right. So for my lock, I thought about the under in that game. I thought about going for it. Yeah, I'll do it. Give me the under, 8.5 in that same Braves game. I think Strider's turned it around. I think Chandler is still an intriguing young pitcher. His ERA is below 1 on the road. Not a big sample, but still. Give me the under 8.5 at -112 in the Braves game as my lock. For my dog, give me Arizona at plus money. I think it's a good spot for the Diamondbacks. They're still fighting for something for now. Do I think they get in? No, but at least they're trying. San Diego's got nothing to play for. And King has come back from injury many times this season. He had no earned runs last start. Once again, 4 hits and 4 walks in 5 innings. That means he was a mess. He just found a way to survive. So Erod's been great recently. I'll back him. Give me the Diamondbacks plus 125 as my dog for the show. Moving on to the home run plays that we have for the card. Lonte, what do you like for the home run?
Yeah, I like Bryson Stott. He's had a really good month. I think he's hit about 4 home runs this month. We talked about Abel being really bad, making his return to Philadelphia. I do think that the Phillies team total is the wave. We both like that. So I think they score, maybe a crooked number here. Hopefully Bryson Stott can go yard for us. So I like Bryson Stott to hit one tomorrow.
Yeah. For mine, who do I want to fade? I think Abel is so bad.
Yeah. Perfect.
But I want to see the home run numbers. The thing is, I feel like Schwarber's going to be so cheap, which is why you mention it. But now Abel's actually not been allowing many home runs. He just gets shelled in other ways. Let me just see if there's anybody else I might be interested in. It's tough because we don't really know who's pitching for half these games. How's Burke's home runs recently? Okay, so Burke's giving up some.
Yeah, he's bad.
Yeah, let me see Irvin really quickly.
Bad. Bad.
Yeah, Irvin's been bad. Give me Montgomery. Give me Montgomery on Chicago. Why not? I got to pick somebody on that team, and I think Irvin stinks. It would only be fitting if he shut down the Mets for no reason, then immediately got buried at home by the White Sox. So give me Montgomery to go yard on Saturday. Anyway, it's going to wrap it up for the show. Reminder back once again tomorrow, actually, to get into the Sunday games. So bonus episode there. Then for Sunday's action, I said once again we have that covered, but there are no night games. So because all of the games will end probably around 7, we will be having a night episode on Sunday night. Once again, hopefully we have future odds out and everything, but there will be the first postseason future episode coming out Sunday night. So it's the updated schedule. Then we'll break down the Tuesday games and the series previews on Monday. So that's the upcoming schedule. But either way, there will be once again an episode tomorrow for the final day of the regular season, and then on Sunday there will be a futures episode previewing the entire postseason. Anyway, I'm just going to wrap it up. Till next time, good luck to all of you and all of your bets. Bye, everyone.